Hello, Disney Coast to Coast YouTube listeners. I just wanted to give you a heads up that Disney Coast to Coast may soon no longer be uploaded to YouTube. Long story short, if you haven't heard, due to recent laws put into place and YouTube cracking down on certain things, it's become less cut and dry as to what kind of content is appropriate for children, and it has affected a lot of content creators using YouTube. Since the majority of the DCTC audience isn't from YouTube, I may stop uploading new Disney Coast to Coast episodes to YouTube at the start of the new season, simply to avoid any hassle with the new rules. I haven't made a firm decision yet, but I wanted to give you a heads up so that you'll be able to begin transferring your listening habits over to a podcast app or website instead. There are many options as to where you can listen to Disney Coast to Coast for free, including Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and many other places. To see them all, simply visit DisneyCoastToCoast.com and click on the FAQ tab. And when you begin listening on that podcast app, be sure to leave the show a 5-star rating and review. It would be greatly appreciated. Now on with the show.
Are you craving a trip on Space Mountain? Well, we've got the next best thing. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePauli, and in today's House of Mouse headlines, a new resort has opened at Walt Disney World, and a new procedure is in place to experience Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. That and so much more, so let's get to it.
Hear the latest news from the Walt Disney Company in today's House of Mouse headlines.
Disney's Riviera Resort is now open. Following the fanfare of a grand opening dedication ceremony, the 15th Disney Vacation Club property and Walt Disney World's newest resort officially opened to immerse guests in the sights and sounds of the European Riviera. Blending the flavors and flair of the Italian and French Riviera with the creativity and imagination that only Disney can deliver, this new resort pays tribute to Walt and Lillian Disney's amazing European travels, while connecting Disney artistry and storytelling to this region's renowned art heritage and inspiration. Not only will Disney's Riviera Resort delight families with its gorgeous architectural details and wide range of accommodations, but members and guests will simply fall in love with the sights, sounds, and flavors of Europe around every corner. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance continues to get rave reviews at Disney's Hollywood studios. The demand has been overwhelming, so Disney has come to a decision as to how they'll be handling crowds for the in-demand attraction. As more and more guests have ridden Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, they've been testing new ideas to make the overall experience the best it can be. Here's what you need to know. Virtual queue will be available at the published park opening time. They may welcome guests onto Hollywood Boulevard prior to the opening of the rest of the park. At the park's published opening time, the virtual queue for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance opens along with offerings throughout the rest of Disney's Hollywood studios. Guests must be in Disney's Hollywood studios to access virtual queue in the My Disney Experience app. Due to the incredible popularity of Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, they will continue to distribute backup boarding groups after the initial planned groups have been filled. Backup boarding groups will only be called if all of the initial planned boarding groups have been called back and there is capacity for more riders that evening. If they are able to accommodate boarding groups for that evening, guests will be notified through the My Disney Experience app by a push notification. For anyone with questions or needing a hand with the virtual queue, the members of the guest experience team are available throughout the park to assist. And while people wait for their turn to rise up with the Resistance, there's plenty to do around Disney's Hollywood studios. If you're not lucky enough to get yourself a Rise of the Resistance boarding pass, there are still more new Star Wars experiences in Disney's Hollywood studios. On the classic attraction Star Tours, you can now visit a location from the new movie Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. There's a lot of rising happening in the Star Wars universe. Over the years, C-3PO and R2-D2 have taken Star Tours passengers to some pretty amazing destinations, and the adventure on the surface of the moon Kef Bir is one of the wildest ever created. With the new Rise of Skywalker updates, Star Tours now offers you more than 100 storytelling combinations, but don't worry, for the next few months they'll exclusively feature the destinations inspired by Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. This rollout is happening at Star Tours attractions all around the world. For a while now, the Star Wars version of Space Mountain called HyperSpace Mountain has been available at Disneyland. In early January, the overlay will be removed and the attraction will be restored to its original version. It's been a while since that option has been available at Disneyland Park. Disney and Anaheim Ducks fans alike can take part in Anaheim Ducks Day at Disney California Adventure Park on Wednesday, January 8th. The Anaheim Ducks are taking over Hollywoodland at Disney California Adventure Park with meet and greets, hockey-themed activities, photo opportunities, special decor, and more. This year, the Disneyland Resort and Anaheim Ducks Hockey Club have joined together to invite members of the community to partake in the day's festivities. Disney will bring children selected from local nonprofit organizations, including Goals, Cops for Kids, and Pure Game, to join in on the fun. At the Animation Academy, you can learn how to draw some of your favorite Disney ducks with the Animation Academy artists. The holidays are almost here, and during holiday parties, people love playing a digital Yule log fire on their television sets. It's a weird but fun little tradition if you don't have a fireplace in your home, and now you can do it with a Disney twist. Over on Disney Plus, search for Arendelle Yule log for hours of a fireplace animation direct from the Frozen universe. Before we get going, I want to share with you a quick interview I conducted about an upcoming theatrical production of Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame. Patreon supporter of Disney Coast to Coast Gerardo has been working on this show, so I hope you enjoyed the insight he shares about this unique location-based production. Gerardo, welcome to the show, longtime listener, and now you have an exciting project to tell us about because, as you know, I am a huge fan of the Disney musical Hunchback of Notre Dame, and you are working on a production right now, so can you tell us a bit about it?
I am. Well, first of all, thank you, Jeff. Thank you for having me here. I'm a longtime fan of this podcast. It's amazing. So I'm honored to be here.
Oh, thank you.
So we started this project actually. My friend Austin Myers, who has a theater company and had a theater company, we were in a project together at another park. And we shared that we really wanted to, that was one of our dream shows to direct was Hunchback, because we both loved the movie and we just resonated with that. And then a month later, Notre Dame burned down in April in Paris. And so we met like the day after and we're like, okay, this is the moment. We have to do the show. So it's been really fast because this was like this past April and like we're going to do the show in January. So it's been really fast, but it's been really such a cool, crazy process. And basically what we're doing, which I haven't really said yet. So we wanted to do it site specific. So it's funny when we both coincided in this too. I live in San Diego, and he does too. So I got to see the La Jolla Playhouse production when it was here. And it's one of the most beautiful shows I'd ever seen. Like, still one of the favorite shows I've ever seen here. But one thing that I didn't is that the only thing that I thought would make it more perfect was if it was in an actual church, right? Because there's so much of it. It's such the church, obviously, Notre Dame degree, like the book. So everything's about Notre Dame. So that's the one thing that it was missing for me. And so we shared this idea that what if it's like in an actual church? And so we asked, there's the school that I went to, University of San Diego actually, has this big, beautiful parish in the campus. And so we asked if we could do it there, and they granted us the permission. So we're going to do it outside the church. We're going to use the actual bell tower and like the church levels. So the goggles will be perched on top of like the actual church. And we're going to use, the bell tower in some scenes. Spoiler alert. And then, and we're doing it in the courtyard of the church. So it's going to have a very, a very different and very right feel to it, I feel.
That's awesome. I mean, as anybody who's listened to this show for a while knows, I am obsessed with the La Jolla Playhouse production that you were just talking about. It's just such a good show. I have said it many, many, many times. If you have not listened to the studio cast recording that Disney created, listen to it. It's phenomenal. Are you a fan of the animated film as well, or was it primarily the stage musical that you like?
Just the movie. I love the movie. And I remember even like listening to the stage music, the Germany production, because it premiered over there first, as some of you may know.
Many years prior.
Many years prior.
Long before we
and
got
it's
it.
Incredible. And I was like, oh my God, it's like this, like, and it's darker and richer, and it had these projections and everything. It was really cool. So when I knew that I was going to come to San Diego, I like freaked out I remember vividly, because this was about like, I want to say 6 years ago or 7, I don't know. And I remember it was there, and I had like, it was almost sold out. It was sold out, and it was December. And I remember standing outside from 4 p.m. or like 3 p.m. because the show was like at 7:30, and I like needed a ticket. And I was like, I'm not going to move until like somebody gives me a ticket or like the wait list is open or whatever, but I need to see the show. And I was so happy I got to see it. And again, it was beautiful. I thought the production was very different from the Germany one. They made changes to the script and they made changes to some of the songs, and they, I think, made it even more like the book. So yeah, I just loved but the only thing that I did, because the concept it had was it kind of like was going for this, I don't know if you think so too, like this, like it was set in a church and it was very minimalistic.
Oh, for sure.
But at the same time, you know, it was also kind of trying to be this big Disney music. Like, I think it was like torn in between. And I bet it was still so sad to not see it go to Broadway. Like it was a shame that it didn't, because I think it is probably like Disney theatrical's strongest show. It would have been its strongest show if it had been on Broadway.
Yeah, I am still heartbroken over the fact that it never made it to Broadway. Maybe in some future year it will, but for now, the only place for people to see productions are, you know, regional productions like you're doing and such. So, you know, if some theater near you is doing it, folks, I highly suggest you check it out. It's really breathtaking. I've been a fan of the movie ever since Disney put it out in the 90s. Yeah. You know, I always loved it, and it always made me sad that, you know, it never took off the way I wanted it to. So I was so happy when this musical came out, and it was really good, but then it never made it to Broadway. But in any case, why don't you let folks know more specifics about when, where specifically, and how they can get tickets to your production of Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame? Yes.
So our production goes on. It's going to be only 3 days. It's only a weekend, but it's actually Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So it's January 4, 5, and 6. Why is it a Monday, you may ask, Jeff?
Why is it a Monday?
No, so actually, and this is a very nerdy thing of us to have done, but it was our solid goal from the beginning. Like, it would be so cool because it's site specific and everything. So January 6th, if you remember Topsy Turvy, the lyrics, remember, on the 6th of
Yes,
January.
That's Topsy Turvy Day.
It's Topsy Turvy Day. So it's actually, if you read the book, it's the first sentence of the book that it's the morning of January 6th. So yeah, we kind of like sat on that date and we're like, let's just do it that day. So and it is
awesome.
And it's a Monday, and it's also in a way too, it's great because a lot of people that usually, like, especially in this industry, as you might know, Monday is like the day off for a lot of actors. So we want a lot of actors to also come, and a lot of people in the theater industry to come, hopefully. So yeah, we're doing it Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for January 4th, 5, and 6. And then, so for more information, you can go to our Facebook page, Living Lighter. You'll find all the information there for tickets. Living Light. Okay. Theater. Mm-hmm.
Well, this sounds super cool. I wish I could make it. I know,
it's so sad.
I will be on the East Coast for the holidays. I fly back the day after your run ends.
That is so sad.
Otherwise, I would be there. It sounds very cool. I look forward to seeing some footage of it at the very least. But folks, if you can get there and see it live in person, head to San Diego, January 4, 5, 6, and check it out because it sounds awesome. I love what you're doing with it. I love the show. I love site-specific entertainment.
Yeah,
so this is super, super exciting. And before we go, I just want to mention thank you to you for being a patron of Disney Coast to Coast over at patreon.com/DisneyCTC, because it's because of folks like you that the show continues into a 7th season, which is insane for me to say, but awesome. But the reality at this point. So
thank you for doing this podcast. It gets better and better every time. And like, I remember, like, I've written reviews of that too. Like, before we met, I'm like, every time you surprise me. So like, with all your guests and just the info that you put out there, it is such a treat for a Disney fan.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I hope that Hunchback goes extremely well. Break legs to everybody involved. And thanks for doing it. It's great to see this musical live on. So thank you so much. And folks, go check it out. Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame in San Diego.
Thank you, Jeff.
I hope you enjoyed that interview and that some of you have the chance to attend. Now, folks, this is the final House of Mouse headlines of 2019, as this upcoming Wednesday is the Season 6 finale of Disney Coast to Coast, where we discuss our experience checking out Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker at Hollywood's Chinese Theater, where it all started. Season 7 of DCTC will premiere on Wednesday, February 5th, featuring a special interview. The House of Mouse headlines will return that following Sunday, February 9th. Be sure to tune in to this Wednesday's season finale to hear more about what you can expect from DCTC during the hiatus between Season 6 and 7. And now let's get to this week's Twitter poll. I asked you folks, is watching the Disney Christmas Day Parade and holiday celebration on ABC part of your Christmas Day tradition? Your options were simply yes, no, maybe, and there's a what now? And last place, I'm happy to say, was there's a what now with only 5% of the votes, followed by maybe with 17% of the votes. Then 26% of you said no, you do not watch, and the winner is yes with 52% of the votes. If you do relate to that 5% that voted there's a what now, don't forget that you can catch the Disney Parks Magical Christmas Day Parade on ABC on Christmas morning. Do you agree with the results of this Twitter poll? Make your voice heard by following Disney CTC on Twitter and taking part in the Twitter poll every week. That's DIZNEY CTC on Twitter. And folks, 2020 is almost here, so don't forget that the 2020 Disney Coast to Coast calendar is now available for purchase over at DisneyCoastToCoast.com. You can choose between a wall calendar to hang and display, or a desk calendar which comes in a case for easy display on your desktop. Either way, you'll be getting a bit of Disney magic to enjoy throughout the entire year. In addition, celebrate the openings of the Disney theme parks as each one's anniversary is notated on the calendar. Head over to DisneyCoastToCoast.com and order yours now. Don't wait until the last minute, as 2020 is quickly approaching. This episode of Disney Coast to Coast was produced by Philip Elke, who has supported the show through Patreon. If you'd like to become a DCTC producer or gain other rewards, including early access to episodes, live stream Q&As, and more, information can be found at patreon.com/DisneyCTC. That's patreon.com/DIZNEYCTC. Other than that, folks, have a magical day. Bye!
Thanks for listening to Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
Disney Coast to Coast is produced and hosted by Jeff DePauli. Learn more about the podcast and become a supporter at DisneyCoastToCoast.com.